right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, our apostles of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Bayasha the house of David. All right, I am Ayashatad.
I'm Darash.
I'm Karatza.
And this is Men of Valor Camp. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and Darash is going to lead us in his videos that he wanted to do on Slakia.
All right, it's just I want to do this lesson on the true understanding of the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16, and we're going to go into it, and it reads, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So, to most people who believe, they think that the Lord gave his only Son for everybody. And if you actually read and understand what the Bible is really telling you, that's not the case. Can you pull Isaiah 45 and 17?
Isaiah 45 and 17.
Come on here.
Oh, you right there?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. And it reads, But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
So Israel shall be saved. That right there clearly tells you that the whole world, it tells you that the Lord is only dealing with Israel. And confounded world without end, that's another way of saying that Israel has the biggest population on the planet, because once again, due to the curses, we were scattered everywhere. Can you get since he got Isaiah, can you get Hosea chapter 1 verse 10 through 11?
Hosea chapter 1.
Hosea in the Old Testament.
Okay. I'm just looking. Y'all know I'm blind. So
Yes,
it's like
okay.
Hosea. Slakia, what was it again?
Chapter 1 verse 10 through 11.
Okay, this is the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10, and it reads, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the son of the living God.
Alright, so like I said, sand of the sea, we have the biggest population, and him saying that ye are not my people, but the sons of the living power. So that's saying that the Israelites are the children of the Most High. And let me get a quick precept to back that up. This is going to be Slakia. The book of Romans, chapter 9, and verse 4. And it reads, Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises? Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerned the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. So that right there tells you that, like back in Exodus, when the Lord brought the Israelites out of Egypt, he brought them unto himself, so that they could be that peculiar treasure unto him. So the covenants and the laws were only given to Israel. This book is all about Israel, and the Lord only cares about Israel. So if you think the Lord cares about everyone in this whole world, that's no. It's no.
Okay, I'll read verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, being gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land of great Slakia. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
And that great day of Jezreel is talking about the destruction of America, aka Babylon. The children of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, which is Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, and the northern kingdom, which is the others. We're going to come back together as one.
God.
Isaiah 10 and 22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 22. And it reads, "For though thy people, Israel, be as sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The conception of on decree shall overflow. The consumption decreed shall overflow the righteousness. With righteousness.
So, only a remnant, which means that only 1/3 of our people is going to come back. It's going to be delivered. But the 2/3 are going to be burnt therein within this place, along with the rest of the heathen nations. That's pursuant to Zechariah 13 and 8. In fact, I'll get that real quick. Book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people. And they shall say, The Lord is my power." So that right there, that right there cuts that the Lord doesn't care for everyone in this world. And here, can you get the quick precept, Exodus 4:22?
This is going to be the book of Exodus, chapter 4, and verse 22. And it reads, let's lock it. It tried to get me. All right, this is Exodus chapter 4 and verse 22. "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn."
So there you go. Israel is his son, his firstborn, the one that he gave the promises to, the laws and the covenant to. He didn't give it to anybody else but Israel. And we're going to keep saying that the Lord only cares for Israel. We are the apple of his eye. All right, I'm going to get this is going to be the book of Deuteronomy, and this is why this is what happened to us when we went off. So this is going to be the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64, and it reads, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." So again, all of our people are scattered amongst the heathen from one end of the earth to the other. So we reside in all nations right now, but the Lord is only going to bring back 1/3 out of from one end of the earth to the other. This is when we went off, and now, like I said, he sent his only begotten son for the nation. Slack it. But the Lord sent his only begotten son for, can you get Matthew 1:21?
No. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21, and it reads, "And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh, for he shall save his people from their sins."
And so it's telling you right there that the Lord has a people. It's not everybody. He has a people, which means he has a group of people that he's coming back for, a nation. Can you get Matthew 15:24?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15. Let's lock it. 15 and verse 24. One page back. Just lock it. And 24. And it reads, "But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel."
there, it tells you that who's he's coming back for. Israel. He didn't say everybody else. He didn't say the Moabites, the Hamites, the Japhites.
Or the so-called white,
Which are the Edomites.
So-called Asians.
Moabites and Ammonites.
So-called Africans.
Hamites.
So-called anybody else that's not Israel. It's not for you.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do understand it now, it's hard. It's hard to accept. That's just how it is. This is the book of the book of John, chapter 1, verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them he gave power to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of the Most High. So those who did not receive him were the 2/3, and the ones that did receive him and him that gave power to and believing on his name, that's the elect, the 1/3, the remnant, which were born not of blood, not of the will of the flesh, but the will of the Most High. That means of the Spirit. Abaratazah, we be those men. All right, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Achoo! I'm sorry, that would be like unto spittle. It doesn't matter. Salakia.
I'm sorry, the rest of you nations don't really matter. You're just playing your part.
Thus saith the Bible.
These are not my words.
These are not my words. So this is the word of the Lord here. This is the Bible speaking. So.
Okay. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 1. Hear these words that Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
So, again, do all the other nations matter? Did he send his only begotten son for everybody, or just Israel? You only have I known. So he only knows Israel. He don't know all these others. Israel only.
God, he's not dealing with you.
You can continue.
This is the book of Amos, and this is going to be chapter 5 and verse 4. And it reads, for thus saith Yahweh unto the house of Israel, seek ye me, and ye shall live. But seek not Baal, nor enter into Galilee, and pass not to Beersheba. For Galilee shall surely go into captivity, and Bethel shall come to naught. And the reason why I just read down a little bit is because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is not dealing with any other nation. In verse 4, he said the house of Israel. All right, that house of Israel is Jacob. All right, Jacob was surnamed Israel, and then he has his lineage. That's his lineage. You've seen this sign time after time after time after time, and through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we're hoping that you get it through your head. All right? If you are of the elect, Abaratazah, wake up, so we can get up out of here through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai on his time. If you are 2/3, be marked so we can get up out of here. If you're an other nation, hey, you'll be back, but you'll be back in servitude. All right?
Yeah, the only thing you can do is, try to be a helper to our nation, so and pray that Yahweh Shem Shai got mercy on you when he comes that day of judgment.
God.
Now that's the only thing y'all could do.
But there will be no help if you're here on the shores of America, unless you got a deep, 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 deep bunker. And then, well,
You're gonna burn with the elements.
you're going to burn with the elements.
Kind of that's 2 Peter.
You know? But here on the shores of America, America is going down by thermonuclear fire. Salaki, I know we're getting off
It's
topic.
going down.
But here we go. This is another quick precept. Is Exodus 19:3. And Moses went up unto Yahweh, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Above all people.
And unto myself. That's possessive.
So he was talking about the world, being this whole world. How come he's setting some people above all people?
Right. Because who's the apple of his eye? And if you love, let's say you're newly in love, right?
Mm-hmm.
That woman tends to be, or that man tends to be your world. Right? You get a new baby, you have a new baby. Oh, this baby, this little angel is of my world. This is my world right here. This is my world. The same affection Yahweh Shem Shai shows towards their nation, their people. The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Seminole Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Argentinians, Mexicans, you, and only 1/3 of you right now are going to see salvation. All right? But 2/3 of you will perish and die. But hey, call law Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakakadash.
Yep. Here's another one. This is Exodus chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. So I just named those names off the chart. So,
Hey,
what more proof do you need? Have you guys got anything else?
I'm good.
good.
All right. So, like I said, this is the true understanding of what John 3:16 means. So, I hope this clarifies things for you, and that lets you know that Yahweh Shem Shai is not for everybody.
But he will be for everybody when you're in captivity, if you're of the other nations. You will be for us in captivity, doing your service, for putting us into slavery. For 1,000 years, all you other nations will go. And after 1,000 years, you so-called white is right, all right? You Edomites, white is right. You will be done away with, all right?
You'd be cooked up.
Hey, that's the spirit. I've never thought of it, but that's where that saying white trash comes from, because you disregard trash and you never see it again.
Don't they be burning trash?
Yeah, they be burning trash, setting it on fire. But hey,
And go up to the smoke with in heavens.
God.
Hey, the cold part about it is y'all gonna have to live by these laws, statutes, and commandments that you force us to break too.
God.
And if you break them, the price to pay is death.
Hey, you got 6 days you can work, but you'll get 1 day of rest. Sort of, kinda. But we're not going to go too much into that right now. But we want to give
all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors in respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are preaching and teaching this truth with 144% sincerity and diligence. To give a sincere thanks to the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and a sincere salutation to the elect house of David that is scattered abroad out there. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. For now, Shalom.
Shalom.